Hello, my name is Naji Abdullahi, and today on the History Channel we'll be discussing the topic, the impact of the Emancipation Proclamation had on the Civil War. You may be thinking, what is the Emancipation Proclamation? Well, the Emancipation Proclamation is a statement that President Lincoln declared that all enslaved people will be free in the Confederate States. This statement stated that any enslaved people who were working against the Union would be free. But however, anyone who was still loyal to the Union would not be free. This war was no longer about how to get the states together, but now it was about how to end slavery. So what that did, that brought more people from the North to join the Union and to together end slavery and bring the states together. The Emancipation Proclamation allowed African American soldiers who were working in the South join the North Army. So that made the Army bigger and stronger. But that also helped the North know kind of the land of the South so they could attack and they could claim victory. By the end of the war, approximately 200,000 African American soldiers joined the North, and it added more manpower and strategies for the North to help claim victory in the South. The Civil War was so focused on ending slavery that it became risky for some European nations such as France and the United Kingdom to support the Confederates because they had a very anti-slavery law that it was hard for them obviously to support somebody who wanted slavery. So that's why they decided not to really get involved, because they didn't want to support the Confederates who supported slavery. So, however, the Civil War was heavily focused on ending slavery. It didn't end all slavery, so it ended some, but obviously there was still some people who were enslaved. So that started the 13th Amendment in 1865, which basically said no more slavery was allowed, and it abolished slavery and got rid of slavery in the North and in the South. So the Confederates were obviously mad about the 13th Amendment, because again, the 13th Amendment said that no more slavery was allowed in the North and in the South. And the issue was that the Confederates, they were fighting for slavery, and the North was fighting for no slavery. And I guess you could say the economy really relied on heavily of slaves. So they didn't like the whole 13th Amendment because it kind of went against what they were fighting for. And yeah. So, however, me and you might think that's a good thing that the 13th Amendment happened, that, okay, now the Civil War might end, and, that slavery might end, and obviously everyone will be free. However, that did not happen. The Confederates, they didn't like the whole 13th Amendment thing, as we said, so they didn't follow it. And they didn't like the idea of ending slavery because they kind of relied on slavery a lot. So that kind of changed the mind of the people in the North to support the Union, instead of maybe they were undecided, or if they didn't like the 13th Amendment, maybe after what the Confederates thought about it, maybe then they joined the North. So it's kind of like helped the North gain popularity and helped the North gain more supporters and helped advocate to end slavery. There was a battle that really helped the Union gain control, and that was the Battle of Antietam. That battle, although a lot of soldiers from the Union have died, that helped the Union gain control. So they still won that battle, and it kind of helped, from internationally, right? Because obviously, if they lost that battle, what would other countries think? Because this was a major battle. So that kind of helped. Also, in this picture, you kind of see there's less Confederates and there's more Union people, because they kind of took over the area. They kind of were able to claim victory. That kind of boosted them to end slavery, and they also took control of the area. In conclusion, the Emancipation Proclamation impacted the Civil War by, number one, it weakened the Confederates, and how the Confederates was also meant to explain was how it allowed African American troops to go in, which helped the Union, because if you have obviously people who were slaves in the South join your army, you kind of know the land map, I guess, like how like kind of like tactics, you can say, of where the army is hiding, so kind of like attack that more. Also, it brought in the 13th Amendment, was about how to abolish slavery. That would happen, obviously, as we saw. But also, it changed the focus of the war. The war in the beginning was about how to keep the whole United States together and how not to split into different countries or whatever. But then, as we saw throughout the war, course of the war, it changed more to, like, obviously get rid of slavery and still bring the Union and the Confederates together to be the United States of America. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the History Channel, was about the Emancipation Proclamation and how it impacted the war. And stay tuned for next week's episode about the American Revolution. I'm out. Peace.